I like this guy.
He says he's ready for you now at 20 years old.
Yeah.
Even though he's only 20, he wants that fight now with Usyk and Itauma.
I don't know, this is not good for...
It hasn't been past 6 or 7 rounds. I think the division isn't that strong when it comes to the amount of ability that he has. I don't think anyone else has that amount of actual ability. What he lacks in experience, he makes up for in clear ability.
Usyk couldn't stop smiling when he talked about Moses. He said Moses might be the future of boxing and gave big praise for his amazing skill. But when people asked him about the challenge, Usyk's calm and sure look told the story he's ready to fight no matter the time or place. It feels like the kind of match fans have been waiting for forever.
Oleksandr, what did you make of Moses' win on the weekend? What did you think?
The great man, the great fight. I think Itauma is future for boxing. I like this guy.
He says he's ready for you now at 20 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Frank Warren just gave a quiet but strong hint. Usyk might already be thinking about Moses Itauma's challenge. That made the buzz even bigger, because if Usyk is really looking at it, then the talks are serious. Fans could be closer than ever to hearing the big news they've been waiting for.
There's some good fights to be made. That's a consideration. We'll look at it.
Usyk next.
We're going to sit down. We're not making any decisions tonight. We'll consider.
Now, Usyk's coach, Sergey Lapin, has spoken about what might come next. He praised Moses for his huge win over Dillian, calling him talented and full of potential. But he also gave a warning: fighting Usyk right now could be very risky. There's clear respect between them, yet Lapin made it clear that stepping in with Usyk is a whole different challenge.
Last fight, Itauma, there's good fight. Turkey is good man. This organize more big fighter, more big event, and we see what we do, what next step, and we see what proposition with about Turkey.
Three-time world champ Duke McKenzie, a British boxing legend, showed huge respect for Moses' potential. He called him a future wrecking ball who could soon rule the heavyweight division. But McKenzie also reminded everyone that, no matter how strong Moses looks right now, nobody gets past Oleksandr Usyk. That's the kind of greatness we're dealing with.
He has the more experience on his side, Itauma.
That's it. Absolutely.
You know, another 4 or 5 fights down the line, then you're looking at an absolute wrecking ball. Then he would beat everybody put in front of him.
They said
but nobody's going to. Yeah, nobody's
going to. They said Saturday, who's going to give him rounds? That's what he was saying. He wanted them out.
Top trainer Dave Coldwell gave big praise to Moses for his fearless attitude and strong belief that he can take on anyone, even Usyk. But Dave also kept it real. Usyk is still one of a kind, a true genius in the ring who stands at the very top. Moses may be the future, but right now, Usyk is still the king.
He's a fighter, he's a winner, he's got plenty of ambition, and he truly believes that he can go in there and beat any man in the world right now, and that includes Oleksandr Usyk. Do I personally think it's too soon? Yes, I do. Usyk's he's a different breed, he's a different fighter. Yes, he's getting older. Now,
things get even more exciting as Gareth A. Davies points out why timing could be the key to this dream fight. Usyk is already in his mid-30s, and by the time Moses hits his full peak, Usyk could be close to 40. That makes this battle a race against time. If it happens soon, it could be a generational showdown between a seasoned master and a young powerhouse. But Davies also hints at another big piece of the puzzle: money. If the promoters and investors put up the right amount, Usyk might take the risk. This fight isn't just about pride or belts anymore. It's about legacy, timing, and opportunity all colliding. Fans are eager to see it while both men are still at their very best.
I'm not sure that Usyk will want to fight Moses if he's 40 already. So maybe the clock is ticking. The clock is clicking. The clock is ticking for Moses to fight Usyk before he's 40. Maybe as well, he won't want to ruin his legacy. But maybe if Turki Al Sheikh wants to see the fight, put up enough money, maybe he will fight him, and maybe the legacy will be ruined. But maybe, if he fights him before he's 40, is the risk big?
At just 20 years old, Moses speaks with supreme confidence, calling himself one of the most skilled heavyweights in the world. He truly believes his sharp boxing brain and natural talent could cause real problems for Usyk, yet he also shows humility by admitting one key truth: experience counts. Moses knows he hasn't yet been pushed into the deep waters of championship-level late rounds, and against someone like Usyk, that gap could be huge. Still, it's rare to see a young fighter so honest yet so hungry for greatness. Moses doesn't fear Usyk, he respects him, but he's shaping every fight into a step toward the ultimate test. His journey is about becoming a complete fighter, one ready to challenge and possibly dethrone one of the finest boxing masters of this era.
See you again
this
before
year.
the end of the year.
Yes.
100%. 100%.
And come on, Moses, give us a name. I know you said
Go on.
the crowd should give us a name, and there's many a contender ringside as well. Who do you want to see opposite you?
Usyk. These lot are saying Usyk.
It's Usyk, is it?
What's the crowd saying? What's the crowd saying? Everyone's just
Eddie Hearn doesn't sugarcoat it. The clash between Moses Itauma and Usyk is pure high risk, high reward. At only 20, Moses could stun the world with a knockout, or he could face a harsh lesson against one of boxing's smartest fighters. Eddie respects Frank Warren's careful approach to guiding Moses, knowing that in a fight this big, timing is everything. It's not just about raw talent, it's about experience, patience, and strategy. His words mirror the boxing world's split view. Some think Moses is already ready to rise, while others believe Usyk's brilliance will expose his youth. But one thing everyone agrees on: when this fight comes, it won't be just another match. It'll be the kind of moment that defines legacies.
But at the same time, he may go in there and get absolutely schooled by Oleksandr Usyk. Or he might knock him out, I don't know. But I, personally, at 20, you know, you got to get it right. And Frank, like I said, Frank knows what he's doing. And I think I'd be very surprised if they took that kind of test.
The fight expert doesn't hold back, calling Moses Itauma one of the most naturally gifted boxers the sport has seen in years. He even compares him to greats like Lennox Lewis, Anthony Joshua, and Tyson Fury, but says Moses brings something new: explosive speed and sharp movement the heavyweight division hasn't seen before. At just 20 years old, he's already being called one of the most exciting talents in all combat sports, not just boxing. That kind of praise shows exactly why the buzz around a potential Usyk versus Moses clash is so powerful. This isn't just a battle of youth versus experience. It's skill, style, and raw athletic brilliance colliding. And if Moses keeps growing at this pace, fans might be witnessing a once-in-a-generation fighter stepping up to face a living legend.
Last 30 years even, you look at Lennox Lewis, he didn't fucking move like that for the weight, no way. As good as he was, he didn't move like that. AJ, hell of an athlete, he didn't move like that. Tyson Fury was a good mover for a big bloke, he doesn't move like that, he hasn't got that explosive speed. We're witnessing something so fucking special here. This is the most exciting combat sports athlete, any sport, MMA, boxing, whatever you want to talk about, in the world. And he's 20.
Veteran commentator John Rawling puts it plain and simple: when it comes to mega fights, money always talks. If promoters and investors push hard enough, Usyk versus Moses could absolutely become a reality. But Rawling also adds a crucial reminder: Moses still needs more rounds, more experience, and tougher challenges before stepping in with a master like Usyk. He calls Usyk the best of his generation, a man who has consistently proved himself against the giants of the sport. Yet, despite his caution, Rawling admits the possibility is real. The hype is undeniable, and everyone, fans, promoters, and broadcasters, knows that Usyk versus Moses would be one of the biggest events in modern boxing. Timing, money, and readiness. That's the perfect storm that will decide if this dream fight actually happens.
Talks, doesn't it? And come on, I mean, it's going to be vast, isn't it? And you know, and if Turkey wants it, if the big noises over here, the big money men are moving towards that, then they'll be pushing for that. But at the moment, he needs rounds. And who are you going to put him in against?
Francis Warren doesn't mince words when it comes to Moses Itauma's future. Speaking with absolute conviction, the promoter insists Moses is stepping into a brand new phase of his career. He hints that just one more fight before December could set the perfect stage for a massive showdown, possibly against Joseph Parker or even Anthony Joshua. But his boldest claim is the one that stops everyone in their tracks. Moses is already ready for the elite, including Oleksandr Usyk himself. Coming from a man directly shaping Moses' path, this isn't just hype, it's a statement of intent. It reflects the unshakable belief within Team Itauma that he's not simply knocking on the door of greatness, he's about to kick it wide open. And if Usyk dares to answer, fans might be witnessing a generational clash much sooner than expected.
We won him before December and then a big fight in December.
Joseph Parker, Ajit Kabai, who would you think?
They're not going to chuck names around. I don't think we need to. We're in a great position ranking-wise, but I think he's ready for the big guys now.
Oleksandr Usyk included in that list?
Tony Bellew delivers a thoughtful, measured perspective on the potential Usyk versus Moses showdown. He admits his only real concern for Moses Itauma is size, but quickly dismisses it by pointing out that Usyk has already shattered the size myth, beating bigger and stronger opponents throughout his career. For Bellew, Moses is destined to become a superstar of the heavyweight division, a rare talent with all the tools to dominate the sport in the years ahead. But right now, he believes Usyk's technical brilliance places him on another level entirely. That's what makes this matchup so compelling. Raw youth, speed, and explosive power on one side versus unmatched experience, ring IQ, and composure on the other. Bellew's words capture the essence of why fans can't stop talking about this fight. It's the present king against the future heir to the throne.
That I worry about with Moses is the size. But ultimately, as we've seen now, size becomes irrelevant because look what Oleksandr Usyk's done. This guy's gone out and beaten everyone, including me. He's exceptional. So I don't think Moses is going to be as technically as good as Oleksandr Usyk, but he's the next in line. I think he's the future of the heavyweight division. I think he's an outstanding talent.
Sky Sports' Adam Smith gives a calm but sharp evaluation of where Moses Itauma stands among today's heavyweights. In his view, Moses already has the skill set to beat the majority of fighters in the division. But when it comes to the absolute elite, names like Usyk, Dubois, and a handful of others, Smith feels it's still just a touch too early. That's not a criticism, but rather a reflection of how highly regarded Usyk remains at the pinnacle of the sport. To defeat someone of his caliber requires more than raw ability. It demands experience, ring intelligence, and composure under the brightest of lights. Still, Smith highlights something crucial. Moses is evolving at a rapid pace. With just a few more fights, the gap between him and the very best could close dramatically. The stage is quietly being prepared for what might become one of the most anticipated heavyweight clashes in recent memory. And when that moment arrives, Moses versus Usyk has all the ingredients to set the boxing world on fire.
When is he ready? I think he could beat most heavyweights in the world, with the exception possibly of Usyk and maybe Dubois, possibly AJ. Now, the top 3 or 4, he's not ready for them yet. Could he?
The stage is set for a potential heavyweight blockbuster, a clash that could define an era. On one side stands Oleksandr Usyk, the master technician, the reigning king, whose brilliance has already carved his name into boxing history. On the other side, Moses Itauma, the fearless young powerhouse being hailed as the future of the sport. It's experience versus youth, skill versus power, legacy versus destiny. If Usyk triumphs, he cements himself as one of the greatest heavyweights of his generation. But if Moses shocks the world, it won't just be an upset, it will be the birth of a new global superstar. The anticipation is boiling over. Fans, pundits, and fighters alike are holding their breath. The question is simple but explosive. Who are you backing, Usyk or Moses? Let us know your pick in the comments.